Welcome to Alex's video for today. As you guys can see, we're obviously in the nursery, and this is going to be a how to act at cons. Whether you be in suit, out of suit, if you're trying to get out in contact with people that are in suit, or any kind of thing like that, because it is a growing problem. MFF, I had a few incidences where people come up and hug me, and it hurts me because I got back problems. So this is going to be a little do and don't video, at least for me. It's not true for every fur. Everybody has their own communication, but this is what I have found that works for me, contacting other fur seers for hugs and photos and all that, because you always need to ask permission. And then, trying to think here, furry fart, brain fart, whatever you want to call it, fart. So this is just a personal thing. This video is for a friend of mine who was asking me last night in a message how he's never been to a convention. He's getting ready to go to his first, so he's asking me how to communicate with a fursuiter. Definitely one he doesn't know. So I figured I'd do this video to help him out. So on that note, that's what's going to be in this video. Please, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the little bell button so you get notified for future videos. Okay. Hi everybody, and as I was saying a few seconds ago, if you're trying to get in contact with a fursuiter at a convention because you want either a hug or something like that, first off, always remember this: ask for hugs. Never run up and just hug a fursuiter, because some of us have medical issues and some of us just don't like being hugged. I like hugs, but I gotta see you, and it's gotta be very gentle because I got a bad back. And the best way for me, and the way I always contact another fursuiter, is I get their attention by getting in front of them, make to where they can see me. You don't just run up in front of them like right here where they can't see it and then they run over you. That's bad. You always get a few feet away from them, get in front of them so they can see you. And for me, I go, may I have hugs? I will, sometimes if I'm in suit I'll talk, sometimes I won't. But I always do the open arms. Because most fursuiters know this means you want a hug. And they'll either open their arms to signify yes, or they'll say no hugs. And I have had fursuiters tell me no hugs. The reasoning is not my business. It could be they're not comfortable with it, they have medical issues, or they just don't want to hug me. So it happens. So don't be that furry at a convention that hurts someone because you run up and give a hug. And I'm sorry, there's a weird background noise. I have no clue where it's coming from or what it is. It sounds like a dying cow. But, so remember to always get permission, whether you want a hug or a photo or anything. Get permission from the fursuiter. And if you're taking a photo, make sure you don't use a flash. Or if you got to use a flash, warn the fursuiter, because at MFF 2018, there was a photographer there who was sitting down and taking everybody's photo as they walked by, which was okay. I don't care if people take my photo. But when he was doing it, he was blinding me. His flash was so bad, I could not see. And I actually walked into other people because I was so blinded from his light, because I got bad vision as it is. So remember that too. Next thing, you never want to touch a fursuiter in this region here, or even down in the other region down here, because you don't know what that person's or that fursuiter's comfort level is, and you don't know who's in the suit, and they may not be okay with that. So remember that tip too. It's always good to get permission, and you're going to hear me say that all the time. Some of us wear badges like this saying please ask for hugs. Some will say no hugs, some will have their pronouns, and some fursuiters will not talk in suit, which I'm working towards, but with these videos obviously I have to talk. So that's another thing. Don't try to force a fursuiter to talk. If they're not talking, they don't want to talk. That's they're in character. And a lot of us like to stay in character. Now, if a fursuiter is talking, and you try to talk to them, then that's between you and them. And I don't know what that noise is, but it's really driving me nuts. And so just remember to always ask permission. Now, another thing to think about at con is always a 6-2-1 rule. 6 hours sleep, 2 meals a day, and at least 1 bath. If you're a fursuiter, I highly recommend taking 2 or 3 baths because we sweat. I would suit for a while, then I'd get out of suit, cool off, and normally every time I got out of suit, I would take a shower. And I'd always make sure I was clean or showered before I got back in the suit because these smells some of these smells you can't get out of the suit. And I have a way of washing my body and arms and hands, but my feet and my head have to be done delicately. So when I'm at a con, it's really hard to wash them. So that's another thing, little tip. Stay clean, stay hydrated, stay rested, and always try to eat some milk because otherwise you're going to get sick. And I don't care if you're on a diet or not, you still got to eat. Next step. Remember when you're at a convention, when you're in your hotel, whether it's the main con hotel or a hotel far away or down the street, it's always good to be respectful at late at night because there are guests that aren't part of the convention sometimes. And those guests would like to sleep. And then you also got your furries that want to sleep too. So it's always good to keep the noise level down. I'm not saying you can't have parties because that'd be boring. Some of us just go to conventions just for the room parties. I don't know anybody like that. My cameraman's rolling his eyes. But remember to keep the noise level down and always be respectful and clean your room. That's another good tip. Because I know MFF, they offer a free room for whoever has the cleanest room. And it's always good to keep your room clean because that allows these hotels to allow us to come back to future cons. No matter if it's MFF, GFM, Fur Squared, or TFF, any of these other cons. I can't think of them all off the top of my head because I'm trying to think of them. Furry trails are real. But keeping your room clean is always a good thing and being well respected around other people. And sometimes there's little kids that the parents have no clue what a furry is. They're at this hotel because that's where they're just staying there. They didn't know what furry convention is. Try to watch the strong language around the young kids. That's another thing. Little kids don't need to hear, talking animals cussing. And they don't need to hear some of the other vulgar stuff we talk about. Because sometimes that's not the good idea. Because there's kids around. MFF last year, which was MFF 2018, I'm walking out in front of the main hotel. There's this mom and her child. They seen all the people and didn't know what was going on, so they thought their kid would enjoy seeing all these mascots because their kid loved them. Well, me and her are talking out front of the Hyatt, and the group of furs behind us are literally using some very vulgar talk and talking about things. And she's like, well, I don't know if I want my kid to be around people talking like this. And I told her, I said, not everybody's like this. And unfortunately, you can't do nothing about it. That's why I'm saying, just remember, if you're going to use that type of speech, that's nothing wrong with it. Just please make sure there's no little kids around. Try to save it for the after hours when kids aren't normally downstairs and stuff. Just my 2 cents. I'm not here to kink shame or anybody or anything because obviously I'm a baby fur. I'm very open about it, as you see around my room. Here's my nursery. So I have my own stuff. But remember, leather pups, bronies, and all them other people are still part of our fandom. I know a lot of people are like, no. So we also need to respect them too because they help, the money that they spend there is helping this con grow still. So remember that too. Just because they're not a furry, or even if it's a My Little Pony or somebody else that's using a Pokemon or whatever as their persona, they're still just as much a part of the fandom as you or me. So let's not bully people. Because bullying is bad, and it's really getting bad in the fandom the last few years. It's always been bad, but it's really getting out of control these last few years. I've watched it. And so on that note, I'm going to end this video a little short this time. So in the future, if you guys have anything you want me to cover in a furry video, just remember it's all my personal opinion. So don't take it to heart, but because all of us have opinions. But remember, you're all family, so please like, subscribe, hit the little bell button so you get notifications of future videos. Comment what you want to see in the future, because I'm willing to do any video. The more subscribers, the more views we get, the more giveaways we'll be doing. The first giveaway will be coming up in a couple months. It won't be much, but it's a start. Have a nice day. Stay possum.